Hey guys, welcome to Monday Night Flex Force team call. I'm so excited to see you guys on live. And I heard this on somebody else's team call and I was like cracking up. So if you are mute or your video's not on, I'm just gonna assume you're naked. I think that's so funny. Like I definitely would turn my video off when I would be like nursing Leo and stuff in the past. Or like getting ready for bed, like I was getting it's just funny. I just think it's funny. So if you're not naked, then you should have your video on. It's totally fine. I'm 100% naked, Gina said. If you are naked, feel free to stay off camera. But if you're not, come hang out. It's fine if you're doing something else. You're hilarious. Okay, so I'm super excited about tonight. I always say that, but I'm always excited about team call night, you guys. And being on live, there's just something about it. Like, I was like feeling so tired like right before we started, and then I was like jazzed, like I was ready to go. And I was texting Danielle, and her energy was like firing me up. So let's jump into our announcements quickly. There's some really good stuff. There's always good stuff. Otherwise, I would not waste your time with it. So shout out to the people who have already changed 3+ lives for February. Guys, like the consistency. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. But super proud. Cynthia, Gina, Bree, Danielle, and myself have all locked in Success Club. Remember that you do have to have 90 PV on home direct. Like it can't be a one-time order, a personal order. Like you have to be using the products yourself to officially lock in Success Club. And we have Christine, Emmy, Josie, and Krista who are one person away, and a bunch of you guys that are 2 people away. And even if you're not on the board yet, you guys, like anything can happen that you decide is going to happen. And this, we're gonna like it's the basis for moving your business forward, for real. Shout out to everyone who is 7 days, uber consistent, so amazing. I'll be reaching out to you to claim your prize. 2 options. You can either put a credit towards your Flex notebook, 1 out of 2 credits, or coffee on me. And I'm just super proud of Allie, Christina, Gina, Hillary, Jackie, Jen, Casey, Lauren, Morgan. I'm not really proud of myself, but Sandra and Samantha. You guys, it's freaking awesome. It's freaking awesome. And remember that 7 days doesn't make consistency. It starts consistency. Like I know a lot of you guys like look at me and like it's not, I don't worry about like locking in Success Club, but I've never missed a day in like 4 years, you know, like that's long-term consistency. I'm not saying you need to be in here in 4 years to like see results in your business or anything, but you just never know. When I posted that thing about the ice cube in FlexForce Fam, you never know when it's going to hit that 32 degrees. So, and it starts and ends with consistency. So build that consistency and results will come. It's literally a formula. So shout out to you guys. We have 26 new coaches added this week, which is a huge improvement from last week. So that's amazing. If you were a part of that, high five to you. That's awesome. February 19th, literally mark your calendars, be talking about it in your virtual gyms because people are so freaking pumped. Fruit Punch Energize. It is so good. Danielle tried it this weekend too at New Leader Conference. I don't even like Fruit Punch. I got to try it at Leadership last October, and it is so good. And I don't even like Fruit Punch. It is like the perfect mixture, like they killed it. So February 19th. Have your have it be on your radar that in March, the Ultimate Portion Fix is going to launch, which is going to take the portion control containers to the next level with like workshops and nutrition planning, all that stuff, like the science behind it, the why, has a kids component. It's freaking epic. And with that, you get to live stream the remake of 21 Day Fix into 21 Day Fix Extreme. It's going to be freaking epic, you guys. Like, if you've ever used the containers, like this is going to be for you. And if you've never used the containers, this is definitely for you because this is going to blow up our business with this type of workshop. It's going to be freaking awesome. Have on your radar that the next super weekend is April 12th, 13th, or 14th, depending on your location. sneak peek every 2 weeks. Next time it will be in a new group, and I will make a group, an event within FlexForce Fam again, with that link so that you can have it, and I'll do it well in advance so you have the link to send to your prospects and stuff, but I want it to be fresh energy. We need to like clean out the dead out of the old group. Every Friday, or at some point during the week, I will do a live Q&A, or somebody will, a leader will, a live Q&A in FlexForce Spam. So if you have questions, just be on the lookout for that thread and post any questions in there. We will be having an Emerald Now call on Wednesday, because it's just important to hit Emerald like as soon as possible, because then it'll be on Wednesday. I'll make an event, which is what's on your radar. Once you're Emerald, you will be invited to our Diamond Blitz call, Diamond in 30 Days training. It's so good. I'm running it with another coach. I already said it was so good. It's by invite only, and you have to be an active Emerald coach. So if you don't meet the PV requirements, or you're projected inactive, or you have coaches projected inactive, you probably didn't get an invite. Invites already went out. So you have until tomorrow to fix that so that I can get you your invite, and then let me know, because I'm not going to go through the whole downline again, because it took me like an hour and a half. But it's going to be freaking awesome, and that will happen regularly. Once a month. You'll just get the invite once, because you don't need the training again. We have access to a new business activity tracker. I want to just show it to you, and I will have it posted in FlexForce Fam in the file section. This is what it looks like. It's so cute. Kate Morgan and Sammy Glonick made this. It's literally the same thing as the corporate one, but it's way cuter. And it has like, I just like all the boxes, like to check it. It's just cuter, right? So we have this, and you'll turn it in once a week, and I will be doing fun, different raffles for that, for people that turn in that tracker completed. Can't be like half filled out. Like, it has to be completed to get you your entry, because you guys, it's just all about consistency. It's what you hear like freaking every call we have. I wanted to shout out the girls that earned New Leader Conference this year. Those Kara, Kathy, and Danielle. And you guys, any of you can earn New Leader Conference. I was there last year. I actually earned it the year before, but Leo was born like that weekend, so I didn't go, and so they let me go last year, and you guys, it freaking changed my whole business forever and ever and ever and ever. I was at that same event with like Ashley Fell-Dyson and Emily Favre and Amy Rada. Like, you only get to go once, and then you never get to go again, because you're only a new leader once. So I'll be having this airplane up, and I can't wait to put you guys in your little seats to fly you out next year for New Leader Conference. The requirements, basically in about one sentence, is advance your business to Star Diamond. 1-star diamond gets you an invite. And obviously, you can go past that, but that gets you your invite to LA, and it is such a boss trip, which you're going to hear about tonight. But Summit, obviously, you guys have to get to Summit. They actually just added new trainings. They're going to be just so good. Like, I can't even believe how awesome they're making Summit. So shout out to you if you're already registered for Summit. I freaking can't wait to soberly party with you guys. Okay, let's get to our guest speaker. Danielle is going to be talking to us about going to New Leader Conference. And you guys, she actually just as of January became a Success Club All-Star, which means she has hit Success Club every month for a year. She's basically been coaching for a year, like maybe a year and a month or something like that. But she's a 1-star diamond coach, and her team is on freaking fire. They're a lot of the ones that I've been shouting out this past week for adding coaches to the team. So you guys just know, if you're on Danielle's team, like, I see you. You guys are on fire. You guys see, if you're in my personally sponsored page, you see her picture every freaking week crushing the top of our team cycle bonus residual income board. She knows what she's doing, and she's slaying in this business. She hit diamond very quickly. She's a sponge, meaning like she takes information that she's taught and just runs with it. And she's always a top Success Club point earner. So she was the only one that could go that qualified. Not that they like cut it off, but the other Kathy and Kara couldn't go. So Danielle is going to tell us all of the things that she learned, why you have to get to New Leader Conference, and all of that jazz. So I'm going to make you the spotlight here. Take it away, girlfriend.
Hi, guys. Okay. So first, I wanted to just say what you just said. I did not hit Diamond quickly, in my opinion. Looking back now, I thought Diamond was like the end-all be-all, just because that was like the carrot in front of us. And sitting back now, I'm like, I should have hit that shit way earlier. Like, I could have hit it earlier, but I just didn't know. You don't know what you don't know sometimes. And so New Leader Conference. So Rachel said you have to be a 1-star. So I also did not know what this was going to be when I went there. I anticipated seeing like a ton of girls that were way ahead of me, even though you had to kind of just be in the same area to go. Once people started talking and you started meeting people, I sat around and I was like, holy shit. Like, I've got everything these girls got. Like, there's girls here that have been here a few months. There's girls that have been there a few years. Like, there are girls of every single group. There are girls who are heavy. There are girls who are skinny. There are girls who are, there was a lady I met who was 50 and rocking this. There are girls in their 20s. So, I mean, it is literally every shape, size you can possibly think of. And that was pretty cool to see. So don't ever compare yourself to anybody else, because there's no reason you couldn't be walking on that stage and speaking at that conference in 2 years, like all of you. So every single one of you should have that as your next goal to get to. Like, it's totally doable. And it was just so cool to see. It was obviously different than Summit. They treat you kind of like gold there. So you get a bunch of swag. They put you up in a really fancy hotel. All your food's paid for and that sort of thing. So it was just nice to see, you know, how they treat you. And obviously it was in Los Angeles, so super cool. I'll take that over Indianapolis. So you guys all have to put that on your list. There is no way that every single one of you cannot be there and should not be there. And then my goal later is I want to speak at it, like at some point. Okay, and so I'm going to go through, I took a shit ton of notes. I'm going to go through some of my notes, but just the like overall jive of what I learned was, one, almost every single one of the big coaches that spoke on this stage sat in my seat there. Okay. So they all talked about, I sat in this seat at New Leader Conference, and then a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, I'm a 10, 15-star diamond or whatever. And so Amy Rada obviously was there last year, and look at her now. So that was really cool to see all of the people who were just in our seats, because it sometimes feels like all of these people are really far away from you. Like, you can't relate to them and they're way ahead of you and you'll never get to that point. But like, literally, they were in the same place that I was, which is the same place that you guys are. So that's really cool to see. All of the people who spoke on stage, all of the coaches, they all are different. They all come from different backgrounds. I couldn't believe how many of these ladies suffered from depression and anxiety, and were really, really, really self-conscious. I mean, really self-conscious. And so you don't have to be anyone special. Like, and I'm not saying they weren't great, but literally, like, none of them are anything more special than every single one of us. Any of you ladies can be the top coach next year. Like, I say that in all fucking seriousness. There is no way that any of you cannot be top 10 coach of this company, like whatsoever at all. There is no secret sauce. But I will tell you that the overall concept is be you. And I can't say that enough. Like, pulling the genuine, vulnerable side of whoever you are and showing that to your people will do more than anything else you could do in this business. So, you know, I know for me a lot, it's super difficult. I feel like, you know, we watch Rachel and sometimes I feel like I have to talk like her, or you just naturally start picking things up from other coaches if you follow coaches. And that's why I always say, don't follow coaches. But you naturally start to pick things up from them. And like, that's not you. And you're not going to attract people because they're not attracted to you, because it's not really you. And people figure that out. So you 100% genuinely being you, whatever way, shape, form, age, size that looks like, you're going to attract people like you. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go through some of my notes and my biggest takeaways with you guys. So Allie, I can't think of her name. She actually went to this. She was like a superstar diamond. And then she went to this event last year and was only a paid 1-star. Okay. So she was a lifetime like 10-star, but only a paid 1-star because most of her team had quit. Okay. She came to this event last year and felt like shit. She was super embarrassed and she was like, I got to turn this around. And so she started looking and specifically looking for people to run this business with her. She sets everything up quarterly. So all of her goals are based on a quarter. And she breaks out the quarter. Basically, she breaks out the year into these quarters, and that's how she plans. So if your goal is to hit diamond, and that's your goal for the next quarter, then you put that in there. You add in everything that you're going to do in your team. You add in all of the big team events. You are basically mapping out that entire quarter, and you're treating that quarter as if you're going to accomplish your goal in the first week of that quarter. Okay, so you're shooting for the beginning of that. I love you. So good. Okay, so she also talked a ton about a book called A 12-Week Year. So she says, think about it like this. How many times when it's close to the end of the year do you guys bust ass if you have a goal, right? So if you wanted to hit diamond before the end of the year, I know me, I can procrastinate, but I can get super like pumped at the end. If you tell me to do something, I'm going to do it. But I probably will wait till the end of the month or the end of the year to do it. Well, what if you treated the whole year basically in one quarter? And so if you treated every quarter like it was the end of the year, what would you accomplish? Probably a whole lot more, right? So there's a book called The 12-Week Year and a book called Power of Vulnerability. Those were the two books that she mentioned. Okay, Amy Rada. So everything, if you guys don't know Amy Rada, she was at this event last year, and now she's top 10 coach. I don't know which number, but she's top 10 coach. She talked about posting the vitals every day. So people seeing your workouts, people seeing, your shake. But when she looks at your feed and I look at like your 9 photos and I take out everything fitness related, what is left? Like, who are you? Are you a mom? Are you a teacher? Are you a wife? Are you a dog lover? Like, we need to see what else you are without the fitness there. And that's what's going to speak to your true people. Because if you think about it this way, you need to assume that every single person watching your stories knows nothing about Beachbody. Like, they know nothing about Beachbody. And so if they have a 0% knowledge of Beachbody and they're watching you and all you're talking about is Beachbody or all you're talking about is working out, they can't relate to that where they are, at their place. If they're not working out, they know nothing about Beachbody. And you have to bridge that gap between them wanting to join you and just looking at you and saying, all this girl does is talk about Beachbody or fitness, and I'm not anywhere close to that. And if that's the case, if you can't bridge that gap, they're not going to be able to understand you. And if you have people who know who Beachbody is or they're super familiar with every program that you're doing, it's because they're shopping coaches. And if they're shopping coaches, they're going to go with the coach that resonates with them most. And if you're genuinely not matching up personality-wise, then nothing else matters. So you obviously want to attract the people that want to work with you, and that's it. So you can't just talk about Beachbody, you can't just talk about working out, and you can't just talk about, doing this business. Like, you have to be you. What is that vulnerable side of you? Like, was it hard to wake up this morning? Like, did you not get your work done last night because you were exhausted, but you got up this morning and did your workout and your baby didn't sleep, or you fought with your husband? Like, be vulnerable, be you, because that's what that girl is going to relate to. And all the time, I do this too. I say, like, when I'm doing my stories, I say you guys or y'all. Like, we shouldn't be talking as if it's a group. Like, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to that girl. I'm talking to that girl who is struggling and who works her butt off. And she's trying to get her shit done, but she's trying to be a good mom. And she's trying to be a good wife. Like, that's who I'm talking to. That's my target. So you have to find your target, your one person. Like, who is that girl whose life you are trying to change? And every time you do a story, That is the only girl you're talking to. You're not talking to any of the haters. You're not talking to any of the Beachbody coaches that follow you. You're not talking to any of the bloggers who don't really care about your stuff. You are talking to that girl whose life you're about to change and you're going to link arms with and run this business with. That's who you're talking to. Okay, so Amy Rada fills every minute of her day with personal development. Okay, so and I will say I do this well. This is one thing I do well. So I drive about an hour to work every day and an hour home. So I am listening to personal development during that time when I'm commuting, when I'm putting on my makeup, when I'm doing my hair, any opportunity that you have. You guys know this is attached to your butt. So if it's attached to your butt, you might as well be using it. So when it's on the counter, I'm listening to my Audible PD. So she said the same thing. I loved that. She also said, change the times when you're posting on Instagram. If you are always posting at 9 o'clock Eastern, then everybody on the Western coast, and I always remember this because Melanie, one of my coaches, she's Western. I always forget sometimes. I'm like, she's in a completely different time zone than me. But anyone in the UK, like those people are never going to see your stuff if you're not posting at different times. So don't forget about those people either. Split up the times and just see what works as far as different times that you're posting. So if you are growing organically, then you need to be liking like 5 pictures of that person and writing like 3 comments and loving on their page. So they're getting about 8 different notifications from you. And if they follow you, it means then they're attracted to you. If they don't follow you, that means they're not your tribe. So who cares, right? But that's how growing organically. So if you don't have a big following, which a lot of these ladies had 0 following before they started, I know one of the biggest complaints people have is I don't have a big following. Guess what? Who cares? Okay. First of all, we have a ton of friends on Facebook. I'm sure you have a ton of people on there you have not talked to in a while. Go back to those people. Okay. They're there. Let's say you have 200, 300 people on Instagram. You have 300 people to talk to. Think about it like this. Pretend that one of the ladies said, okay, pretend you had a dinner party and all these people are at your dining room table and you're about to have supper and you're having amazing conversation and all these people love you. You put the food on the table and everybody is ready to chat with you. They're so thankful for you cooking. And you get up and take pots and pans and you go down the street and start banging pots and pans instead of sitting down and eating with your people. That's how people feel. So serve the people you have in front of you. Love on them and give them value. Don't worry about what's next. Don't worry about chasing the new people. Love on the people that you have and serve those people, because I'm sure if we looked in every single one of our Instagrams or Facebook, there's still people who haven't joined us that need our help. Forming commenting pods. So any of you new ladies or even veteran ladies, forming little pods, and so that when all of you post, whether it's 2, 4 of you in a group and you all post, then you go love on each other's post. So maybe it's like a Voxer pod or just like a text message pod or whatever, but it's something so that you guys go and love on each other's posts. So that was a good idea. We learned a ton about volume and how important carryover volume is. You guys, I had no clue that a lot of the girls I met do not have a strong leg, okay? And this isn't gonna apply to all of you because some of you are underneath me, some are under my husband or under different coaches. But a lot of the ladies that are under Rachel, and it's not everyone, but a lot of the ladies that are under Rachel have a wicked freaking strong right leg, okay? What that means is she has built all of this volume for you. And when you build your weak leg up, you are going to get to cycle so many more times and make so much more income. And there were so many girls here, one, that have no upline coach. Okay. I could not believe, Rachel, I could not believe how many ladies I talked to here that have no upline coach. So that means they have no Rachel. They may have coaches up there, but they don't have a Rachel. And I'm like, you got to 1 star? You got to 2 star? I'm like, how did you do that? I figured it out. They figured it out because they wanted it bad enough. Ashley Moe said, she was like, I was super resentful of all the people who had this big coach to be able to follow. And she's like, I didn't have that shit. And you have 2 options. You can bitch about it and complain, or 2, you can say, who cares? I'm not going to let that defeat me. And I'm going to learn what I need to learn on my own and get what I need to get on my own. So I thought that was pretty cool. But we also talked about like reverse engineering your team volume. So let's say you have a goal, and this is something I can get more specific with you guys individually on, but let's say you guys have a goal of $1,000 a month just in team volume, so like recurring volume, and you're a diamond coach, then break that down, and basically it's like $18 obviously a cycle. So break that down and you can figure out how many times you need to cycle, and we can kind of do the math on that. Okay. So let's say you are a stay-at-home mom. I don't know how many of you guys are stay-at-home moms. This didn't apply to me as much because I work full-time. But if you guys are full-time doing this business, or you're staying home with your babies and doing this business, it's very difficult for people who work full-time and do this business part-time to be able to understand that they can do this part-time if you're not talking about it. So one of the coaches, she doesn't have kids and she stayed home full time. And she said it was very hard for people to understand that they didn't have to stay at home and do this. So if you guys are staying at home with your babes, or not with your babes, but you're home with your puppy or whatever, you're super fortunate, but you got to talk about the fact that this can be a part-time opportunity, because if not, you're going to turn off all the people who are working, and vice versa. Let's say you're a working mom, you got to talk about the coaches. So basically use each other on the team here. So Kathy and I are success partners. And so that would be a perfect thing. Kathy could be like, oh, my success partner, Danielle on my team, she crushes it. She works full time and does this side gig, part-time. And for me, I talk about her. She's able to stay at home with her mom. She's able to do this during nap time hustle. So you've got to make sure you are talking about that, because if you aren't, you're going to turn off all of those people, and they're going to look at you and say, well, she's home full time. I can't do this. I can't stay home all day. So I'll never be able to fit this in what I do. And you also have to show when you work. So if you work on your lunch break, or you work in the car on your lunch break and you send 15 messages, you better be taking a selfie, right? So you want to show that you can do this from your break room table, your Starbucks table, a bench in the street, whatever. You want to be showcasing where you're publicly working, so that people don't think they have to be sitting home in a room doing this job for 8 hours. Because a lot of these coaches started part-time, and a lot of them started like I did. I started as a discount coach. I never wanted to coach. When Rachel brought that up to me, I was like, weird, I work. And now I'm obsessed with you guys and I love this. But you have to talk about that, or you're not going to resonate with any of those people. Okay, so map out what you want to do if you work, or if you don't work and you stay at home. Map out what you want to do before you go to work. So whether you do this the night before or that morning, map out. And so basically, like, write down on a sheet of paper, before work, lunch break, after work, or nap time, or after bed, and brain dump basically everything that you want to get done for that day. Okay. We learned all about the elite and everything that we need to get to be elite. So I want to see a show of hands. How many of you want to be elite this year? Sandra, why isn't your hand up? I only see like 4 of you, that's all. Okay, so another thing, I thought elite was like this far off cool thing that just Rachel did. Screw that, I'm totally gonna be elite this year. Like, you guys, there is nothing, I love you, Rachel. There is nothing crazy special about Rachel. Every single thing that Rachel has done, I can do, and every single one of you can do. So all of you can literally be a 5-star diamond this year. You can all be elite coaches this year. So if you want more details on what you need to be elite, get at me, and I will give you all of that. I got a ton of info on that, but totally doing that. That's next up. Okay, Ashley Milstead. So she's the #1 coach in the company. If you guys don't know, she is a non-bullshitter. She cusses like a sailor, and she enjoys a lot of liquor, and she is not the most fit person. If you guys didn't know, she's really not. And it's kind of cool to see, I'll be honest. It shows you do not have to be anyone special to do this. You do not have to have a 6-pack. You would never know, probably if you saw her on the street, that she was the #1 coach of this company, right? So these are some of the things that she said, okay? If you are not successful in this business, it's your fault. It's not Rachel's fault. It's not my fault. It's not your husband's fault. It's not anyone else's fault. It's not your upline's fault. It's not your accountability partner's fault. It's your fault. And let me preface all of this. Everything I'm saying on this team call, you guys, this was New Leader Conference. So this is a conference, and everything I'm teaching you, this is a conference for ladies who are running in a business. So some of you may have popped on here and you're like, what the hell is this crazy lady talking about? I just wanted to get my nails done. Like, this girl is going off on a tangent. Totally get it. Like, that's okay. That's how I started. I just wanted to be able to get my nails done. But everything I'm talking about is about building a full-time income, okay? Building a full-time over six-figure income is what I'm teaching you. If that is not applicable to you and you aren't interested in that, there's not a problem with that. You don't have to explain yourself to me, to Rachel, to anybody. If that's not what you want, then that's okay. I want to build a six-figure income with this. My goal, because I'm super competitive with myself, is I want to make more money doing this than what I do at my 9 to 5, because that seems like a fun game to me. So, but it doesn't have to be for you. You don't have to need to build a full-time income. You don't have to want to do that. Maybe that's not your desire, and that's okay. But I just want you to know, everything I'm telling you is for people who were obviously running to build a big business. Okay. So it is going to be a little bit more build. You have to have more commitment in the beginning than confidence. Okay. You don't have to have confidence. You guys may be scared shitless when you send these invites. You may not know shit about Shakeology, except you like it. You may not know all the ingredients. You may not know what being emerald means. You may not know how to run a virtual gym. Guess what? That is fine. You don't need to have any confidence right now, guys. But until that confidence kicks in, you better have commitment. So that means you better show up, you better be consistent, you better do the same simple things each day. And guess what's gonna happen? One day you're gonna wake up and be like, damn, look at me over here. I got confidence. And it will happen. But until you get there, you fake it till you make it, and you show commitment and consistency. Okay. The only place the future exists is in your mind. So if you see that you can't do this, or you see it's going to be too hard and you're probably not going to get there, that's all up here. You've created that. No one else has told you that. No one, it's not real. Like, that's not factual. That's just what you've created in your mind. So the only place the future exists is up here. And if you create a bomb-ass future where you're accomplishing every single goal or passion or anything that you want to get after, that's up here. So you create that. You have control of that. No one else does. So you are the key to your success. No one else, not Rachel, not me. I can't do it for you. Rachel can't do it for you. Your husband can't do it for you. Your friend. You are the only person that can take you from point A to point B in this business, if that's what you want, if that's your goal. Okay, so talking to that girl. Again, we want to talk to that girl. So who are you most connected with? When you look at your Instagram, like, find those girls that would be awesome on your team. I think it's one of those things you'll start to notice. It's kind of funny. When I went there, you could see the groups of all the teams, and they all kind of started to look alike. So you saw all the blonde ladies over here with their fake eyelashes, and you saw all the girls over here with pink hair, and then you could tell all the little Amy Rada girls were like these pretend sweet little teachers, but every little clan like looked alike. And so it's you finding your tribe. So when you are talking, talk to her, like, talk to who she is. What is she afraid of? What does she worry about? What excites her? Like, that's who you're talking to, because she's going to get you, and that's why she's going to join you. So you want to be able to get over her fears, because what her fears are going to be what's holding her back from joining you. And so the sooner you realize that she is the important part, the sooner you'll get there in building your tribe. Okay, so that one Allie chick does 2 big pods when she's bringing on new coaches. Some of you may have not ever brought a coach on, so this may not matter. But when you're bringing on new coaches, for any of you that are in building a team, she's got basically 2 pods. So one pod would be for anyone after, when you hit Emerald, who maybe just wants to like coast, you want to do it part-time, maybe you want to get your nails done, pay for your Shakeout, whatever. And then another pod for the ladies that are like, oh, I want full-time income, and I want to like 1-star, 2-star, 5-star, that sort of thing. So she kind of breaks it up as pods so that the learning is like more like on point with like what you're interested in. Okay, so Carl spoke a little bit, so I want to tell you a little bit about what he said. Fear is not welcome here. It is okay to not know shit. It is okay to be scared, but fear is not welcome here, ladies. It's not here. So take it out of your head, take it off the table, take it out of your notebook. It doesn't belong here, okay? Focus on your actions, not the outcome. So let's say you are rushing to earn a goal, but you are not, like you have this in sight. Let's say you have diamond in sight and you are working and you are hustling and you are making your contacts every day and you are doing everything that you should do. That's what matters, okay? You cannot focus on the outcome. You cannot control whether someone signs up with you. You cannot control if someone does their workout. You can't control if somebody quits your team. But you can focus on the actions. You can focus on what you do every single day, and you can focus on you showing up, and that's what matters. You want to be able to lay your head down at night and say, I did everything that I possibly could do for this commitment that I made. Whether you made it to yourself, to your family, to your kids, or whatever. Like, you want to be able to look back in 5 years and say, I tried my damned hardest at this. And don't give up before them, because you guys, you've all put in way too much effort to quit before, you know, it gets fun, to quit before the income starts flowing in. There's so much opportunity in this. Listening to some of these ladies talk and the income that they make and the amount of people they've helped, the depression that they've helped in ladies, the anxiety they've helped with ladies, none of them were anything special. None of them were anything more than any of you. Every single one of you can be at this conference. Every single one of you can be elite next year. Every single one of you could be on that stage and be top 10. You just have to get over that damn fear that something separates you from them. Because I'm telling you right now, there was nothing special about any of them up there except the fact that they knew what their goals were. They unapologetically didn't give a shit what anyone thought about them. And I know that's hard. I lost a lot of friends when I started doing this because they thought this was so weird. I didn't need the income. Why was I doing this? I was going to be one of those stupid girls on Instagram showing their workouts. Like, they didn't get it. And guess what? No one has to get this. If you want this, then that's what matters. So don't care about what anyone else thinks. The quicker, the more genuine you are, and the more you show up for whoever you are, not for who Rachel is, not for who I am, not for, you know, if you're on Gina Kish's team, not for her. But if you show up and you are you, unapologetically you, and you crush your goals and your to-do list and everything you are supposed to do, there is no way you will not be successful in this business. And if you aren't, then that's on you. And you didn't do something, or you didn't do enough of it, or you didn't ask for help when you needed it. You guys, we all have the same opportunity here. Okay, so get rid of the self-limiting beliefs. How many times a day do you guys say to yourself, you can't do it? Or how many times a day do you put yourself down? A lot, right? We do that all day long. All day long, my head does that. Oh, no, she could probably do this better than you. Oh, no, she's prettier. Oh, God, she's in way better shape. Look at her. All day long, we do that, right? We look at someone else's Instagram, and I'm like, her pictures are way better than mine. Oh, my gosh, her stories are way better than mine. She's so much funnier than me. You guys, we could do that all day long, but that does not serve us. What good comes out of that? That does nothing for you. That does nothing for the ladies that you could help. And there are so many people that still need our help. That was one of the coolest things I didn't think I was going to realize going here, was how cool this company was. Like, I really didn't think about that part. So Carl talked about there are 57 million people with gym memberships right now. You think 57 million people are working out right now? No. There is zero accountability there. There is zero nutrition unless they are paying extra for that. So do not think for a second that what you are offering is expensive. If you think what you are offering is expensive, then guess what? That person will. But if you know the value of it and you talk with such confidence in the value of what you've gotten from this, that will relay to your customer. There are 200 million obese people right now without gym membership. So when you guys say you have no more people on your Facebook, you have no more people on your Instagram, you go find those 200 million because they're out there and they need our help. Okay, so we've got to find them. They're out there. Take control of your success. Stop allowing other people to tell you who you are. So maybe you heard growing up for a long time, you didn't graduate high school, or you didn't graduate college, or you were just going to be a stay-at-home mom, or you were treated like crap by an ex-husband, or whatever. Like, stop letting what other people say about you be the truth. You prove them wrong, or you prove them right in any facet that you can. You fight to be what you can be. You don't worry about what someone else thinks about you, because just like Rachel says, Rachel Hollis, not this Rachel, other people's opinions of you are exactly that, their opinions. They are not the truth unless you believe that. Not everything will go according to plan. I could repeat this one 1,000 times because this is one of my biggest faults. I'm a perfectionist, and when something does not work out the way I want it to work out, I freak out, I don't like it, I get an attitude, I make excuses, I get pessimistic. That's just how I am. I want everything to go according to Danielle, and the world doesn't work like that. So a true leader will make it happen regardless of the plan and whether your plan didn't work out, okay? So you just find another way. Just find another way, okay? Serve the people that are in front of you. Do not worry about all of the new followers. Do not worry that someone else has more followers than you. Give the people that are with you, whether they're on your Facebook, whether you're your coworkers, or they're on your Instagram, whoever is there with you right now, love on them and show them value and give them what you would need right now in your life. So if you're a mom, share tips about that. Share tips about your toddler. Share tips about how you multitask. But serve the people that are around you instead of always worrying about, well, she has more followers than me. Because a lot of these girls, a lot of the, obviously not like Ashley Moset or Amy Rada, but a bunch of these girls up here, I had more followers than them. But guess what? They're kicking my ass. So don't worry about the number of followers. Like that doesn't mean anything. You can have a shit ton of followers and not make any money or help anybody. So don't worry about that. That is it. That is it, my loves. Any questions?
Oh my God, I feel like my neck is going to snap off from all of like the head nodding that I was doing. You guys, this is your like prime time to ask Danielle any questions about New Leader Conference. It can be about the information that she presented. Everything. I was just like it was just, I mean, did you feel like when you were there, it was just mic drop after mic drop?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and that's how it was when I did. Like, I love no sugarcoating. Like, let's just hear the things that it takes. And that's what's so cool about New Leader Conference is that the people that you see up on the stage, like, yeah, that they were at that conference. Will you talk about while questions roll in? You guys ask questions. If no one asks questions, it's so awkward. So will you talk about like the extra fun things that were part of it too? Like just for fun?
Oh, yeah. So I'm super boring and kind of like an old lady, and I don't like to mingle with a lot of people. And I will say, I was kind of upset. I'll be honest with you guys. I was kind of upset that I was the only one on the team there. So all of you guys have the opportunity to get there together next year, because I did not realize how many people on these teams, once you got there, were like huge teams. Like there were like 10 of them or 5 of them. And so for them, it was so much more because they could take pictures with each other and stories and like the camaraderie. And you guys all have that opportunity. It's hard because I think before, when a lot of us started, we thought like diamond was the big thing. And then we thought 1-star was a big thing and 2-star. I don't think even like 1-star, like I feel like I'm an emerald right now just based off of like what now I see the path can be like in the future. And so to be able to see like these huge groups there, all of you guys can get there next year. So like commit to each other to make sure there's a group of you going next year, because that would be way, way fun. But they give you a ton of swag. So there's all sorts of like cool stuff. Got free water bottle, cool hats, hotel room, like super nice. Our hotel was one of the nicest hotels I've ever been to. And so you can get your hotel for free when you get a certain amount of elite points or some type of points, right? So I had my hotel paid for, so super cool. All your food was paid for. The first night was like a cool cocktail hour, like party at the pool. Autumn is there. Callie, her sister from 80 Day Obsession. So she was super cool. I kind of hung out with her. Autumn was just like taking pictures and stuff, but you're basically hanging out with Carl. You're hanging out with everybody. And then the second day I did the live workout with Autumn for the new 21 Day Fix. You guys, that's going to be awesome. So she wouldn't let us tape it because it hasn't been released yet. And it's not you're going to do it live. So it's not going to be one that's like just released one day. You'll be able to do it live with her. And her goal is to bridge the gap between 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Extreme, so that Extreme is not so much harder and that they like kind of mesh together better. But she said for, you know, a lot of us, like that was probably the first workout program you did. She said, if you are a new coach, every single one of you need to have the Ultimate Container Fix program, the new one coming out, and you need to be a freaking expert in it. So you're going to be able to get like a certification for it. I don't know how that works. Rachel might know more about that. But every single one of you, if you're able to, I suggest you get certified for that. That's going to be a game changer. People are going to want that. People are going to need a lot of that information in there. So we did that workout with her, and then we're in like obviously all these trainings with all these big coaches, and then you had a big party that night with, again, Autumn, Callie, all of them, all the big coaches. They did a really big panel, and then it was like a fun, huge like prize type thing. So a lot of fun, super fun. What is
Callie Calabrese was there. Like she was there as a participant. Like
she was a premier coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's Star Diamond. She's 2-star Diamond.
Yep.
So she was like, you know, it's just great. Like we all start at 0, you know.
Her whole team looked just like her.
What?
Her whole team looks just like her.
I bet. That's so cool. Well, and she's in Melanie Mitchell's downline, and she looks like Melanie. So I'll field these for you because there's a lot of just comments. But so Robin asked, where is your team coming from? Warm, cold, what's working for you?
All cold. So everything on Instagram.
Which takes longer. Remember, you guys, Danielle is like the top consistency person. Like she's been consistent for over a year. So now these people are joining her. But
I probably did not get a cold person to actually close the deal for more than 6 months on Instagram.
That's what I was just going to say, because you would text me like, am I ever going to close
a cold Kathy, sale? I go, this is never going to work. I'm never going to have anyone actually pay. They're never going to pay on Instagram. It's not going to work. And then it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Like before.
I just told you, stay consistent, keep connecting, inviting, and following up, and you did just that consistently every single day. Boom, top Success Club point earner, Success Club All-Star, has never missed a month of Success Club, even when you were evacuated from your home during a hurricane. Okay, what is your favorite, most important, biggest thing you took away that you're going to be implementing in your daily business?
Being me. Stop worrying about Rachel. Stop worrying about any big coach. Stop following anybody. Stop worrying about what Kathy, my success partner, is doing, but 100% genuinely, unapologetically being me and showing up for me on my stories, and knowing that I 1,000,000% have every opportunity to be the top coach of this company if I freaking wanted to.
Love. Oh my gosh, so good. Morgan said, that referencing, you said, looking back, you feel like you could have hit Diamond a lot sooner. Can you elaborate on that?
So I thought when I started, I thought Diamond was like something you took a year to hit. And I took a while to hit. I don't even know how long. I don't know when I hit Diamond or anything like that. But I took a lot longer than I think it really does take or could take if you wanted to. I just didn't hit it as soon as, now looking back, I think I could have if I 100% knew that it was possible. I think so much of what we do, we think, oh, well, we don't see that, so it's not possible. I mean, how many of you think you could just be elite this year? Not many of you have your hands raised. You think it's not like that possible. It is so freaking possible. But it's one of those things that if you only see like one person on the team have it, you're like, oh, well, that's not going to be me. Rachel's been doing this for years. I can't do that. Screw that. Like there were girls here who have been coaching for a couple months and already were like 2-star. There were girls there who have been coaching less than me who were like 1-star, but then were 5-star. So like you can do that way quicker, I guess I thought.
Yeah, that was really good. You hit diamond in like 4 months. I think you hit it in like April, I want to say. That feels right to me. That's when we started popping diamonds in March, at the end of March. And I think you were one of the like middle cluster. So I think you were April. So about like 4 months into consistently working your business. Lots of good questions rolling in. Casey said I was going to start re-inviting people who have liked previous transformation posts and found they no longer follow. Do you still invite them on Instagram?
You no longer follow them or they don't follow you?
They don't follow her.
Oh, if they don't follow me, bye, Felicia. Yeah, if they don't follow me, they don't like what they see. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. They don't have to like me. But I want girls who like me. Yeah, no, if you don't follow me anymore,
And they might come back. Like, you guys remember?
They might come back. One of the big coaches, she said, I blocked my coach because she was annoying AF. All she did was talk about this fitness shit. And then she said, when I was ready, I unblocked her and I sent her a message and said, how do I get in your group? So yeah, don't.
Yeah, it happens like a lot more than I think we think it does. Allie, a success partner isn't it something you have to work towards? It's just finding somebody in the business, it doesn't even have to be on our team, just finding someone that you can check in with to help you, hold you accountable and like do this together, kind of like a BFF in the business.
Can I just say the caveat for what a success partner though?
Yeah.
So Kathy is my success partner. We kind of just fell into that. I don't really know how. She might have sent me a no and I circled yes. I don't know. But find someone that you jive with like that. But if they are negative or every time you talk to them, you're bitching about something or you're bitching about like your work, then you better cut that down. Okay. So make sure it's somebody that can be honest with you. Kathy and I are super honest with each other. She sent me a message earlier and was like, what did I say to this girl? And I'm like, girl, you're thinking way too damn hard. Just freaking ask her what her goals are. So we can be like 100% honest with each other. But we're super competitive with each other, but in a good way. So look for somebody like that. I think that's huge to be able to have.
You will be my friend. Check yes or no. Kathy said, yeah. Yeah, so funny. Maybe. Kennedy wants to know any quick tricks and or tips for a newbie getting started, like top 3 tips.
Okay. Show up to your people every day. Show your workout. Start to create your brand of who you are. Start inviting everybody around you and don't be weird about it. You don't have to say like fancy weird names. Just be like, girl, you look like me. I feel like you would like what I'm doing. Do this with me so I'm not by myself. Like if you guys were going to go to a concert, right? And Britney Spears was coming to town. You were like, girl, I'm going to see Britney Spears. Get your ticket. You coming with me. Then that's how you should be talking to people. Like talk how you normally talk. But post. Like if you do nothing else, then post. If you aren't tracking, if you have days where you're not doing anything, you've got to be posting. You've got to be showing up because people feel weird when they don't see you.
They think you're closed. Like if you were to go to your favorite store tomorrow, like if you were to go to Target tomorrow and they were closed, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why are they closed? Like, that's so weird. And then you would have trust issues with Target. And that's why that doesn't happen with other stores. So you have to treat your business the same way. So you have to be showing up every day, no matter what. Do you have any tips, Danielle, for coming up with good stuff to post? Where I said, I feel like I don't have a lot of value inspiration lately.
Don't think about it too hard. So I thought about a lot of posts way too hard. And that was one of the biggest things that like Amy Rada said. She was like, just be natural. Like whatever's on your heart, Morgan, post about that. Don't look at someone else's. Don't feel like you have to like I look at my feed and I make sure I have a transformation pick and I make sure I have a call to action. But other than that, like just be you, be whatever like on your heart, because that's what's going to speak to people.
For sure. Don't force it.
Guys, there's going to be days where you don't want to post. There's going to be days where you don't want to do work. I come home and I'm fighting with my husband, and my son's sick from school, and Mia's biting a little boy at school, and I had a bad day at work, and I'm PMSing. Like, there's a lot of days, guys, where you're going to be tired and you don't want to do this. But you show up when you're tired. You show up when it's hard, okay? Because the work you're putting in now, you will not have to put in the hours later if you put them in now. None of these coaches work 40 hours a week. None of them. But you better bet your ass that they busted their butt in the beginning to put in that time. So whether it feels good or it's convenient or you feel like doing it, just get it done. Just do it.
Yes.
If you don't like the results you're getting, then do more.
Say no now so you can say yes to all the things later, or, you know, or vice versa, whatever. You know what I mean? So like that you can work, get it done. Okay, you guys, so good. Thank you for being on live, you guys. Danielle, thank you so much for sharing your experience with New Leader Conference. And you guys, now you have to take what you learned, even if it was like an inspiration thing, like fear is not welcome here. Write that shit down and put it into practice. Like, you have to take whatever you learn, whatever your takeaways are, now you have to apply it, because it doesn't do Danielle any good or you any good or me any good for you to just be here listening to the knowledge. Being a true sponge is absorbing everything and putting it into your business. So do that, because otherwise you honestly just wasted an hour of your time, and I would never want you to do that. So take what you learned and apply it. Thanks, guys. This is about me. It's awkward. I don't like being the center of attention, which is weird. But so just take this and run, and know that you guys be here in a year from now. I was at this same conference last year as a 1-star, and on Thursday we'll be a 7-star team with like 10 active diamonds of my personally sponsored diamonds. That's crazy. Last year there was 1, and it was my second business center. Like, that's crazy. Now there are 10 of my coaches who are at least diamonds. So you guys be here in a year from now, and that's because, like, do the work, and that's when you're going to get your paycheck. Like I love when Danielle texts me like every week, like, one of my biggest paychecks. It's because it compounds. Like, the work you're putting in today and this week, you will collect that paycheck next year, like in its fullness. So be that, earn that, and go crush it. I love you guys. Thank you, Dee. That was freaking awesome.
Bye, guys.
Love you guys.
Love you. Have a good night.